Wonder what Era's up to. Oh. Hey, Era.
Ah, Generation. Good to see you. How are you this morning?
Pretty good, actually. Been thinking, why exactly are we living in just blankness?
I'm not sure. I don't really have any memories of before. Do you?
Nope. I mean, it seemed like you were awake before me, so...
Yes, I guess I was. I just remember all I remember is sitting here, and I opened a book and started reading. What interesting thing.
I can tell.
Something tells me you're not very interested in reading, are you?
Not much. More if I actually want to... I don't know. I mean, we don't really have to actually live in just blankness. We can create a whole world if we like, you know?
You know, I've actually been reading on the very same subject.
What?
The idea of creation.
Did you just hear that?
Uh, yes, I believe I did. What's that noise?
Well, it's about time.
And
This
you're...
isn't the place I was supposed to go to.
hello?
Oh.
You're?
Oh. I don't seem to know where I am at.
Oh, you are in the very nexus of the universe. Or at least
Wait.
this world.
The next... Ah. Ah, my wife is going to kill me for this.
You are?
Pardon, where are my manners? My name is the Abyss King.
Ah, well, welcome to wherever the heck this place is. I'm not even sure. Actually, me and my brother aren't really sure at all.
Ah,
And that right.
let me guess.
No.
Your name's Generation Steve and he's Era Steve.
That is quite
Yes?
correct.
How do you exactly know?
I'm the King of the Abyss. My people, well, we have the ability to see people's past, present, and future.
Excuse you, brother.
So it apparently seems like this
What?
is the beginning.
Yeah.
The very of this universe.
Yeah.
It seems I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. And now I'm stuck here for a while.
Might I ask, what is Albuquerque?
I'm very sorry. As a time traveler, I can say things that won't make sense. I'm very sorry.
Time travel. Now that is an interesting subject. If you don't mind, I would love for you to explain more of it.
Well, it looks like I have some time on my hands in the beginning, but just so I don't get lonely, I might as well create a friend. Golem, to
what?
me!
What? Oh.
Here it is. Very good, Golem.
What an
This is my
interesting
goal.
design.
Yes, he's made of the most significant material from my universe.
You want to take a look, Era?
I would actually be quite interested in to see what this thing is. Very interesting indeed. To see such creation is in its very raw form.
Yes.
I must say, my friend, I am very impressed.
Thank you. Well, he is... In my people, we have a surplus of golems. thousands, not if hundreds of these things we can create. Using the power of the abyss, we can create new life. We're remarkable machines.
Did you say create life?
Yes.
Astounding. Quite
Although-
astounding indeed.
Don't worry, Golem. It'll be fine. Golems don't need to eat or sleep. They're completely, well, powered by the abyss.
I see.
Only thing is, unlike me, the golems only have an unlimited amount of the abyss in their soul.
I see. So essentially, it's a being created that only fills the most minimal of tasks.
It can do, like, other things. Like, he can create... over time, he can create, like, life and stuff, but they work at their own pace. Like, he can create a tree.
Wait, are you saying an artificial being can create life?
Kind of. You know, not like sentient life. He can't create, like, another him. He can only summon allies that are near. But since there is no allies that are near, he can't really do that.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yes.
Golem. Turn around.
He only obeys the user, but sometimes, since he's not in fight mode, I guess he might listen to others.
Golem. Face me.
But the abyss that is inside of him is a soul, after all. I can't remember that, so yes. He has his own sentient life and his own intelligence. But because he's bounded to the person who summoned him, he's under my whim.
So more or less, these commands that I'm giving him are merely just a fraction of what control I could have if I were to create one of my own.
Yes. He's made of the finest material. Netherite.
Alright.
From my dimension. Yes.
Well, I got a... What is... a gold sword?
Something like this.
Interesting. Such fine material. Not as, of course, not as intricate as gold, but its properties seem to be quite, shall we say, durable.
Yes. Netherite
What,
is
better
the
than
strongest
diamond?
material. Yes. Way better than diamond. Diamond was used to create this material. Gold and diamond were used to create this material.
I see.
Before then, we only had leathered golems. Leather golems didn't last very long and faded quickly in a fight.
So, you're saying, at first you probably started with golems made of wood and stone, and then created golems that were of leather and iron, and eventually, gold and netherite.
Yes. The diamond ones were our proudest achievements.
I just got a nice idea from this
Hold
design
on.
of your golem.
Interesting. Very remarkable.
Like, maybe something like this?
Kind of, although wither skeletons don't really rub me the right way.
Huh.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
those things do.
Though I'm not so much worried about its composition, but more about what powers it. Now, the soul that you gave it, did you create it from some sort of spark, or did you create it from raw materials?
I created it from the abyss. The abyss is everywhere. Flows through every reality, every beginning, every end. The abyss is everywhere. Even here, the abyss can exist too. Wherever the abyss can exist, so can I.
So the flow of this abyss, if with time and effort, I would be able to tap into this very flow of abyssal energy.
If the Abyss proves you worthy. Like
Interesting.
I said, I used to be a normal Steve before this happened to me.
Oh,
But that was, what is it,
a Steve.
400 millennia ago.
Steve. What's that like us?
Kind of. Only I was a different color.
Ah.
But the Abyss has granted me pure access to it. I no longer age, and I basically can't die very easily.
Mortality. That's gonna be one
The
long story
sacrifice.
for him.
Yes. The only
You must,
price of becoming full Abyss is that my original color faded out.
you must have many millennia of knowledge to have been acquired during your time of immortality.
Yes, unfortunately. That's actually why I travel the multiverse. And time and space. I travel it so I can prevent our greatest enemy, the Abyss's greatest enemy.
Witches?
The Void.
Haven't heard anything like that.
Tell us about this void.
The Void is a pure darkness. Empty. Nothing. The epitome of nothing in a physical form of nothing. A dimension which those who access can be overwhelmed by it. My goal is to stop the Void from spreading, or there will be a war between the Abyss and the Void. And this war has been going on for ages.
How terrible.
Sounds rough.
My goal is to stop the war and stop the bloodshed. That's why I came to this universe, because this is where I was sure this is the last known location for, well, one of my good buddies, Reality Steve.
Huh.
There
Well,
was another one, but
well,
he chooses to stay in the shadows.
well,
Do you
unfortunately,
know God Steve?
no, we do not.
Nope.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Oh.
We kind of just recently awoken.
Oh. That's right, this is the beginning of your universe.
Yup.
You two have a long timeline for yourselves. I can already tell. This beginning for you is going to be a remarkable one at that. Isn't that right, Golem? Yes.
Well, since you're here, and as our guest, I think I would be most gracious host to honor you for coming to our very home. And as such, I'd like to ask a request of you, if you don't mind.
I don't really mind, but if you ever see Reality Steve, tell him the Abyss King sends his regards and wishes to speak with him again. It's been far too long.
Of course. But one thing I would like to ask, if you're going to stay with us for the time being, I was hoping I could pick your brain, so to speak, about all the information you've acquired in your travels. If
Well,
so
as long as
obliged.
there's no physical picking, then yes.
Of course not. It is merely a figure of speech.
I'm sorry.
Merely, I just wanted to.
I just have to make
I'm
sure.
merely just. No, it's quite understandable. It's just I wanted to understand. I just wish to know everything that you know, more or less. You see, I have a, shall we say, insatiable hunger for knowledge. To me, very knowledge itself is quite a valuable asset. My brother here, he prefers to be creative,
Yup.
artistic.
Like the Orange
Building-
Steves.
Orange, Steve?
Sorry, in my universe, we have different colored Steves and Alexes that frolic alike.
Interesting. I should write this down in my notebook.
Oh, then, by all means, go for it.
I kind of
Colors
like you
are
already.
variations of Steve's. Interesting.
Although most Orange Steves have been, well, as we say, become one of, like me, part of the Abyss.
Well,
I used
I'm
to
not
be a,
an orange
what is it?
Steve, as far as I'm aware.
I used to be an Indigo Steve, actually.
I can tell.
Indigo. So might I suggest what's different of the indigo from the orange?
An Indigo is, well, most likely, well, their whole purpose is connection. Same with the Violets, but the Indigos get changed. Well, the Violets go for the Indigos when they become more connected with something.
So in other words, an indigo Steve is basically someone who forms bonds with someone or something within its near vicinity.
Yes.
Interesting.
Sometimes there was one Indigo Steve that became so connected with the multiverse, he became Galaxy Steve.
Interesting. Multiple formings of connections create a more powerful Steve known as a Galaxy Steve.
But
Interesting.
not all Steves became the Abyss. Some, well, weren't worthy. Mostly the Dark Steves and the Reds. They were rejected by the Abyss for impurity.
Ah, and what about these Dark Steves and Red Steves? What might their qualities be?
Hatred. Well, Red Steves are temperamental. They're hot-headed. They don't They don't get along with many other Steves very well. Dark Steves are the epitome opposite of Light Steves.
And I'm to assume that these light Steves basically represent good?
Yes, Dark Steves represent everything dark, and they're closer to the void than anything,
I
which the
see.
Abyss hates. The Reds just can't control their tempers. The Abyss doesn't like that.
I see. So, Red Steves, aggressive temperament, Dark Steves, dark personalities, chaos, possibly destruction, and Light Steves, positivity, possible connection to light itself, and maybe even order? Very
Well, if you're talking
fascinating.
Order.
water, then that would be the light blue Steves.
And they represent basically
Ice
order,
and
as
water.
in. I, so basically, in other words, these light blue Steves, they are basically, so we say, guardians, I guess you could say, of balance, order,
Yes, in a way, yes.
and you're saying that they have the ability to manipulate ice and water.
Yes.
Fascinating. I must thank you for all this information. It will, it will come great use to us to to maybe, possibly in the future, create our own world.
Yes. The only thing I'm glad I'm not in is the universe where everyone was a frickin' mushroom. I hated that.
What?
What is it called? Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to skew your, feel your sensations for information, but like I said, I know a lot, and
No,
there's
no,
more than just this world I've been to.
no, please. See, yes, knowledge can be dangerous when too much is given, especially in the wrong hands. I thank you nonetheless for any and all information that you are willing to pass on to me. It is quite helpful.
Don't mention it. Like I said, I am the Abyss King, and if this helps prevent the Void from finding its way into this world, then so be it. Well, not the Abyss. Sorry, my memory's a bit screwed from the ride here.
Oh, it's
This is
quite
a,
understandable.
I mean the Void.
It's
I
quite
was
all right.
actually really hoping to talk to God Steve and Reality Steve here, but I guess not.
Well, if we do come across your compatriots, if by any chance there's any way to let you know, we will gladly pass on your message.
Well, take this. One for you. And hold on. Where is it? Ah. One for you. If Reality Steve is close by, it will go off. It will start vibrating rapidly. The closer you get to him, the more it will vibrate.
Ah, a beacon of sorts.
A beacon that only tracks Reality Steve.
Why, thank you for this token. We shall use it gratefully.
Yes. But before I go, Golem, try to create something right here. A tree if you can. It's a demonstration of your power. This may take him some time. So you're the creative one that I've been hearing that your brother says you are, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, deep in thought. Creativity, you know?
Ah. Well, a once creative mind told me this. Even the most simplest things can have the biggest creations.
Ooh.
We always remember that, and one day it may help you.
Yep. Taking him a while, huh?
Like I said, golems take their own time to do things. He can do things, he just takes a while. Is there any other questions you would like to ask me while he's taking his time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, of course, even though I understand that there's only so much you can offer for intelligence or knowledge, I would greatly appreciate if you'd be willing to offer more information for me if you can.
Well, I can tell you not only this has been the only first universe I've been to, but at one point I used to be something more than the Abyss King myself. After I was Indigo Steve, before the Abyss found me, I was once the Rainbow King in my time. Once.
I see.
Rainbow? The Rainbow King?
Yes.
So, am I to assume by role of Rainbow King, you mean that you ruled over all the colors of Steve's?
More like I was there. Well, more like I was the ultimate force of good. It took a while to get the hang of it, but after a while, I did. And shortly after, I had, there was my brother, but he was soon, he was taken by a much darker turn.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. My condolences to you.
Well, he chose his fate, like I've said. He chose his fate. In a way, you kind of remind me of him in that regard. He was always a bookworm too, but not completely. He was always into knowledge and everything. He wanted to know everything. But one day it ended up, well, I guess you could say one day he became, well, corrupted. When you learn something you shouldn't have. I told him he needed to stop while he was ahead. But he didn't listen. He was already too far gone. And then one day he dubbed himself the Forgotten King. Taking that title made his presence known to all. And anyone who was an inconvenience for him were destroyed.
I see.
Me being the, the Rainbow King posed a threat to him, and I had put my own brother in the grave.
I am sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I had to do what was good for my people, and eventually I fell in love, and I became the king of the abyss when the abyss finally decided to accept me.
See,
But Light Steves never became the abyss. Light Steves stayed Light Steves, although their numbers are dwindling.
Well, probably you're newer, but what about others, no?
Perhaps, but like I said, the Lights and the Abyss get along very well.
I see.
I never forgave. I never forgave my brother for what he did. I never got to tell him I was sorry for him. I never got to be there for him after I slain him. Until he put a curse that he would come back. And there's still people that worship my brother as some kind of god. And because of that, he will come back one day. Then the next Rainbow King will have to take him down.
I see. It is an unfortunate fact of knowing this knowledge. I'm sorry you have to relive it.
It's fine. Despite the fact I had to relive it, it reminded me why I do the thing I do. Why I go from universe to multiverse across time and space, trying to convince and stop the void from spreading, because the void did get to him too. Thanks to another sworn foe of the Steves. A legend, if you may call him, the Hero Rhyme.
Interesting.
Even though he can't seem to multi-travel, unlike me.
I see.
He looks like a normal Steve, but he has white eyes.
Well, I guess this will be your time to, be on your way, no?
I suppose I could probably travel again. Let's test, let me see if the energy is flowing. Ah, looks like I might be able to leave this time. The current is flowing nicely. Golem! Don't worry about it, buddy. You'll get it next time. Hold on, Golem. Come back to me.
Is he, supposed to disappear, or?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's running a bit slow right now.
No. Maybe
supposed
because this is the beginning of world and maybe things are slower, possibly?
Ah, there he goes.
Ah, there he goes.
There he goes. Hi, there he goes. He's back in the Abyss. The pocket dimension the Abyss controls. Each Abyss person gets their own separate pocket dimension that they control.
Seems nice.
Yes. It was an honor meeting you, Generation Steve. Era
Aye,
Steve.
you too.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance as well. May we meet again in the future.
We most likely will. And I know that for a fact. Like I said, I've been to your future as well.
Well,
And you're gonna need this. Good luck to the both of you.
aye, brothers to the
You as
end.
well.
And one more thing. Tell your parents I said hi.
Aye, bye.
Parents?